baby beard.
Waited for you, Fry.
This episode traumatized me as a young person.
My head is hurting again.
Where's my firstborn son?
God does not care about me masturbating.
Your singing is bad and you should feel bad.
First get out into the bus, you're like, oh no!
Yeah. I don't like myself becoming the protagonist of this podcast.
You've been in
Yeah, because you haven't learned anything. Ba 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 ba.
Shut up and take my podcast.
Hi.
Welcome, everybody, to the Australian Futurama podcast that pits episode against episode in a bloody glorious gauntlet battle. Gauntlet! Infinity Gauntlet battle!
They don't know what it's about
For
yet.
your well, it's in the title.
Okay.
For your
He's
entertainment.
foreshadowing, like the Marvel Cinematic
Like a
Universe.
good MCU boy that I
Okay.
am. And
Okay,
this,
forgiven.
ladies and gentlemen, is a side mission, very much a side mission, where
Yes.
we deviate way, way
Just-
far
Whoa.
from our
arrive on
regularly
another
scheduled
planet.
programming.
Like, here's Futurama. You know, it's an animated
Sci-fi comedy.
sci-fi,
And
then we have fucking Avengers Endgame.
So, yes, this is a side mission where we deviate from our regularly scheduled programming to bring you something a little bit different because you're
Completely
worth
different.
it. Completely different. Now, I'll show my working here because
Okay.
I'm able to
All right.
justify
Yeah.
it.
Can you justify
I
it?
can justify it.
I'll be interested to hear this.
What do we always talk about on the outtakes and before?
Just
and
movies.
movies,
Movies.
and pop culture,
my exes.
and your exes. So, what's something that includes all those things together?
A
Talking
movie.
about
A
movies.
movie.
A movie.
I don't know what you mean. Does not apply to me.
Have you ever seen a movie with your ex?
No.
Never.
Oh, as in we went to see a movie together?
Yeah.
Yeah, like twice, I guess.
There you
maybe.
go. That counts.
Okay.
So, Avengers Endgame came out 3 days ago
Right,
from
yes.
this point of recording, and I thought this would be a great thing to talk about.
we,
Why
should,
not?
we should hop on this bandwagon.
Yeah. Hashtag don't spoil the endgame. Hashtag endgame. Hashtag Avengers.
Oh, are there-
Hashtag clickbait.
Is this going to be a spoiler-free?
For as long as we can, and then we will very much go into spoiler territory, and I'll put it as a
Look,
a
if,
little.
if you're planning
I'll
on
link dump it.
if you're planning on watching this movie,
Watch
Yes.
it.
do not click on anything
No.
that has the word Endgame in it. Don't do it.
Okay, as a
And
thing,
be like, well, it might not have spoilers in it.
What
So-
if they're coming for a Futurama,
my
Futurama
friend,
podcast?
my friend, legitimately, he was seeing all this stuff about hashtag don't spoil the endgame, and he legitimately thought, why is everyone talking about Samuel Beckett's Endgame?
Please, nobody spoil what
Wow.
happens. in
And it was
Samuel
sincere.
Beckett's Endgame.
Like, you can just buy the play. Like,
Yeah.
dang.
Just come on,
Do people
man.
not know what happens in Endgame?
I mean,
Why is Chris Evans so invested in Samuel Beckett's plays?
who's going to be the one who who's going to be the one in one of the ones in the bins?
Oh, who was your favorite signature?
Ooh. Oh, God.
Chris Evans was a really low effort, I thought. It was like a C,
Boo.
sort of an E, and then he just sort of got bored.
I
it was
did-
just a
I
wiggly
remember,
line.
I remember liking Jeremy Renner's, but that might just be because it was the first one
He
that
was
I saw.
the
Right,
first one. I
Yeah.
think, look,
Hemsworth, I think, had a
this
pretty
is
good
going to be...
He had a
this-
flourish, didn't he?
Yeah.
This is just going to be preference, but like I think Mark Scruffalo, as he is more well known as, I think Mark Scruffalo had a good scratch.
Oh, my boss last night, she was like, we were talking about Endgame in the bar,
Yeah.
Oh.
and she was like, oh, what is it? What's this thing? You're like, would I be interested? I'm like, not really. Do I have to watch anything else? I'm like, yeah, about 22 movies.
Can you
to
tell
catch
the
up.
story that Faith?
Yeah,
Can
I
you
will tell
Faith?
that story in a minute. And she was like, oh, I heard it's got Mark Ruffalo in. I really like him. I'm like, sort of.
It's got him.
It's yeah.
It definitely has him.
You may
it's
not
him.
recognise him
Yeah,
as
but
you
he's,
know him.
He's CG Mark Ruffalo.
Only
so
in-
spoilers.
Not only in that one. Oh yeah, that's a spoiler already.
Yeah. That he's mostly CG.
That doesn't count
It's a very
though,
minor
because
spoiler.
that got spoiled by any merchandising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is the other story, Sean fanboy that he is, wearing his Marvel hat right now.
Fucking
invited
nerd.
20 people, including himself,
Yes.
to see Endgame with him.
Why would he invite 20 people
and the
and
weirdest
then not
thing,
go?
Not go.
the weirdest thing is that a person of his age has 20 friends. I'm extremely jealous.
Yeah. Well, now you have 20 friends.
Yeah, I barely spoke to any of them, but Anyway, I invited Faith to be like, hey, do you want to join in? And she's like, yeah, sure. I was like, okay, let's watch Infinity War to catch you up. And then immediately following Infinity War, she said, I don't want to go anymore.
And what was her reasoning? What was her words again?
Yeah.
This is pointless, and it's not about anything.
Once we saw Endgame, I think she made the right call, like just based on the fact that she would have been lost.
Yeah,
Among
also
other reasons.
would have still
but-
thought it was pointless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, not to be facetious or anything, but like, isn't most art pointless? do you know what I mean? In like a Dada kind of way. Like, sure, superhero films and whatever, they do have morals, and like quite often they're very moralistic. But like, is there a point to anything that we do on this earth?
I think you've hit the nail on the head because no, there isn't.
Oh, great.
What
Essentially.
does she
Sweet.
think of what
Then
we
why
do
not?
as a Futurama podcast?
I think she supports my
Pointlessness?
my artistic
she?
endeavor.
Sounds like
She's not about to go and listen to the podcast
Has
because
she ever
there's no
listened to
frame
Has she
around.
ever listened to the podcast?
I believe she has a little bit, yes. I think she listened when you first came on.
Oh,
because
nice.
She was very complimentary about your ability to podcast. so-
Oh, that's right, because you guys Shat talk me. Shat talked?
Chat talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
talked
She was
about
like,
William
don't do that. She's really good.
Coincidentally, that's William Shatner's next podcast. Chat talk.
Oh.
I cannot wait.
Zing.
Actually, I can.
How introspective is the first hour of this movie?
I love it.
yeah.
I just liked how it kept getting further and further, like, because it's the most important thing to do in a story, to feel like it must be, and then it must be like, and you think that this can't possibly work, because if we went through the whole film thinking, oh yeah, for sure they're gonna reverse the snap, like,
I mean, I thought that, but
well, yeah, because
suspend disbelief,
But
yes.
in that sense, like, it just kept hammering home, like, this has
Permanent.
been 5 years since
Yeah.
the snap, and you're like, oh, okay, all right.
even right at the beginning when it hasn't been that long, and they're like, "Oh, it's definitely gonna work."
It's been, 28
Yeah.
days?
Yeah.
Like, it's been a month, and they're like, fuck, it needs
Yeah.
to work.
and then it doesn't. You're like, "Oh,
Oh
shit, the spoilers."
Um,
Well, you don't know what it is.
You don't know what the
listeners.
it is.
We have
And also, listener, don't
don't listen.
don't
to
listen
this.
to things or watch things that say Endgame.
I like the idea that they're listening to this podcast as they're sitting in the cinema waiting for the movie.
I was just saying, I was surprised by, like, you know, the moments with Black Widow and Cap and stuff, and like she's like almost losing it. She's gonna cry,
Yeah.
basically. And it's really like, it's really kind of
This movie-
doleful attitude in the first hour.
Yeah, but it really does, like, even the stuff with Thor, which is still quite, they're painting it like in a very comedic way. But I think Chris Hemsworth like walks that line of being a tragic clown so fucking well. Like, there's bits where it's like, you know, and he's clearly doing like a comedic performance, but like you can still see all the pathos and pain, and it's just like,
I wish
wow,
he'd gotten-
this is.
It's not just a
Sorry.
straight parody.
It's not. It's not at all. And also, like, the brilliance of being part of these things is that you have had X amount of movies to really, like, build up these things. And, like, you know, think of how much has gone wrong for, like, so many different characters. Like, Rocket has lost everything. Thor has lost everything. Nebula has lost everything that was dear to her. Well, she only had one thing that was dear to her, and then she lost it. Like, everyone has lost something, and some characters have suffered, like, that times 10 kind of thing.
Yeah. Some of them get all edgy and get a samurai sword.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Ronin. Well, I don't
yeah,
think-
but I
no,
wish
yeah.
I do wish Thor had more, like, his arc closed out a bit
did.
further along.
It
Like,
did.
it felt like he hadn't quite got there. Like, he's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go off in a spaceship with these guys. I don't know why he's Italian, but
Bada
that's
bing, bada boom.
yeah.
You
Do
know,
do you know what I mean?
me.
Like, he hasn't really kind of resolved his crisis.
It's a me,
Hey,
Thor
listener,
from Asgard.
I'm just going to say now, let's just put the spoiler point here.
Let's do it.
Because we are going to inevitably, like, just watch the fucking
Just
movie.
do
If the
it.
spoiler point is here, I'm going to bring up my favorite subject.
Go
about this
for
film.
it.
Can I do one thing before we do that? So this is movie 22, Avengers Endgame. The director for this episode is the Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe Russo.
Oh, yeah. What have they done?
Oh, they've done Civil War, they've done Winter Soldier, which is my personal favorite Marvel movie.
Interesting.
They did Avengers Infinity War and now Endgame.
They've also did the paintball episodes from Community.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Or at least the first one.
They're-
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah, they're fucking awesome.
They're
yeah,
predominantly television directors, are they not?
I believe they're.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Maybe not after this. I think people will be throwing money at them.
Oh my God, I hope so.
To direct
I hope
action
so.
movies. Yeah.
And the writers for this this movie is Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely.
Yeah. McFeely.
McFeely.
Got me right in the
Hit me in the
McFeelies.
McFeely. Damn it.
Damn it. Too quick.
Fuck.
Silver-tongued Philip. They're back from Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Right.
A couple. Oh, also Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, I was going to say it is
Whoops.
a very bold move of this movie to set
To, like, bring back the Dark World.
one of the set pieces in one of their worst movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Very
and
bold.
like do it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah.
To be fair, though, the writers so when they wrote Dark World, they also did it with a guy called Christopher Yost. So I blame him.
Yost.
Maybe it was a
Yeah,
regular
you
old.
Yost me there.
You Yost,
Maybe
damn.
he was a regular old Yost giant.
Oh. I mean,
Get it? There's some Thor jokes here.
Okay, my
the
thing.
air date for this movie was
Oh.
3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Introducing everyone.
Everyone.
Phil, run down the plot. No, don't.
Oh God.
What's your thing that you want to talk about?
The thing that I talked about this endlessly after the movie.
I was here.
Because it amused me so much. So
Let's delve in.
Captain America goes back to restore all the stones, right?
Yes.
And it's completely glossed over. He just disappears.
He just does it.
and it's just done. A, why did he do it alone? But B, can you imagine some of the fucking scenarios? So imagine he takes the soul stone
to the Red Skull.
to the Red Skull. And he's like, you.
Oh yeah.
This is what you're up to these days.
But like, I feel like
Holy
Red Skull
shit.
would also be like, oh shit! I've never had someone try to return it before.
Yeah, what do I do?
I'll ask my manager.
I'm Sean in a German accent.
So I want to. Okay, so
He's like packing his bags.
So,
He's
right.
like, finally, I
I've
can get
never-
on with my life.
So do I give you the souls back, or do
I don't. No exchanges.
No. So
No
see,
returns?
He's all the way down the bottom. I can't go down
I
there.
cannot. I am simply as. He's not simply a skeleton, but.
Also, I haven't seen you in a while. How's things been
How's
going?
things?
How's
How's the
Hyde?
avenging?
How's Peggy?
How is Hydra? Otherwise known as Shield. Oh no! Yeah, because Captain surely knows that Hydra is Shield, right? What's that about?
Oh,
Whoa. Reality Stone.
where was that
He
again?
has to sneak into Natalie Portman's Jane Foster's bedroom and stab her or something.
I mean-
or put this eat this stone.
They suck out the
And it's
ether,
meant to
don't
be
they?
inside
Yeah.
you. They suck out the ether, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to make
Put
it back
it
into the
in?
ether and put it in her.
That's not.
She's
Gonna
like,
be,
oh.
That's not going to be fun.
And then
Yeah.
she'd have to actually say words, which would cost her more.
I mean, actually, I think
I can't remember how that
Cat
works.
might
so.
have the benefit as opposed to if I saw a raccoon running at me with a syringe, I might worry. But
Yeah.
if I saw
Cap, handsome
saw
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans coming at me with
Can I
whatever,
stab you with this red goo?
you know
Okay.
what? Sure.
Also, wouldn't just anyone in Asgard just be like, it's fucking Loki? Like, if anything weird
Yeah.
happens, it's like, well, it's just
you would
Loki,
think-
isn't
well,
it?
he did have. Well, didn't Odin think he had the Infinity Gauntlet because they're.
Oh, he thought he had the whole gauntlet.
Yeah, because there's a bit where they're running past all of his treasure room in the first Thor, and it has the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh,
Obviously, it's like an Easter egg, and then they acknowledge that in Thor Ragnarok, where Hela is like looking through the trophy room, and she's like, most
some
of
of
the
it are
shit,
fake.
most of the shit in here is fake, and
Right,
she's
right,
right
right.
in front of the Infinity Gauntlet when
Right,
that
right,
happens.
right.
So did Odin think he had all the stones?
I think he just thought he had the
Gauntlet.
gauntlet, right?
I just thought it was pretty.
Which, you know, Peter Dinklage
do-
forged.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, though. Okay, but if Odin had the gauntlet, this gauntlet, the one that we all know and love,
You're holding
like-
up your own personal Infinity Gauntlet.
it is like it's built for Thanos' hand, right?
Yeah.
So why would Odin already? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe he used to have a massive hand.
My head hurts.
He also has to give the Tesseract back to Hydra.
Yeah, that'll
Sorry,
be
I had
fun.
to borrow this. You can
Hi,
have it back
Nazi
now.
friends.
Hail Hydra.
Hail
Everything's
Hydra.
fine, right? Hey, buddy.
Hail.
The easiest one, I think, would be the Time Stone. He just nips back to what's her face,
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda
Tilda Swinton, and it's like, it all went well, thank you.
And she'd be like,
Went great.
And she's like, oh, thank
oh,
God.
thank
Yeah.
goodness.
I
Yeah.
rode a lot on just Hulk saying, I promise to bring it
Promise
back.
I'll bring it back.
yeah.
Like,
Because we all know how that goes, right? I've lent video games, books, and
do you know I
Classic,
lent
yeah.
my Game Boy Black and White It was a red one, and I still remember who I gave it to, and I haven't had it back in 20 years.
Yeah, that's
20
right. That's how it goes.
years?
Yeah.
But
mean-
Tilda Swinton was thinking that after like Hulk disappeared, she's like, "Oh, I don't know about this."
Last time I lent the time stone, I didn't do that because I'm the fucking Sorcerer Supreme. You don't do that shit.
Power Stone's pretty easy. You just have to put it back in that orb.
Yeah, the fun thing for that is like maybe they knock out Chris Pratt. Star Lord's like just about to
Right.
get there, and he's like, "Hang on,"
Right in the fucking kisser.
then puts it back in. Where's
is that
the
all?
Mind Stone?
Oh, the Mind Stone's in the scepter.
It's in the scepter.
Oh, right.
Thanos
okay,
already.
sure. So he has to give the
Oh.
Tesseract and the Mind Stone back
Yes.
to, yeah.
Hey, Thanos,
Does-
just take these,
Does
dude.
he have to? He has to give it to Thanos for that to work.
No, because he
Thanos-
takes the scepter off Hydra and
off.
So he gives
they have
two
the
of them.
Tesseract and
That's
the
right,
scepter.
And
okay.
they know
that's
it's in the
fine.
scepter. So he just goes, hey, Hydra, here's two of the stones.
Yeah.
I'm Captain America. How you doing?
How you doing?
You know
Hey.
me, classic Nazi Captain America. Wait, you guys know why everyone like? You guys know what that's the reference to?
Oh, the
right?
fact that
Hail-
Cap was...
the Hail Hydra.
Hydra Cap.
That he was,
Yeah.
like a
Double agent.
double agent.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how
everyone-
that resolved.
It was like a dream or something. It was
They
like
had
no
to.
way.
They had to like immediately fix that shit because everyone
people
was like,
lost
People
their
hated it, yeah.
minds. I want to delve into another hard-boiled question here.
Yeah,
Let's talk
yeah.
about the time travel.
I don't want to.
I want it.
So what does Ruffalo say?
Rough. Okay, well, he said a lot of things.
Scruffalo.
They mentioned Back to the Future. They mentioned... So what does he say? He
They
says
do Back to the Future
You
though.
can't change this timeline. You can't change...
your future
Your
because
future.
it becomes your past.
It becomes-
Going
your
back into the
past.
past becomes your future.
Okay.
It's in your future that you go back to the past.
Yes.
It doesn't change
Absolutely.
the present.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
And
And
it
what ends
wouldn't-
up happening is what should have been a divergent timeline,
Mm.
their plan is that once they go back and then give each stone back at the time that they were taken, that snaps everything back to a single timeline.
I guess.
That's-
or it
that's-
stops those alternate timelines from shattering further into worse ones.
Because what
Right.
he tells Tilda Swinton was those times will then become one.
That's right, because she
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, but it's gonna fuck up my timeline."
Yeah, and he's
so
like, no. If I do it here, it'll become one timeline.
I feel like instead it's like her timeline is now new because originally Hulk wasn't there. Now there's an alternate timeline where Hulk came back to speak to her. And that timeline then doesn't split into a shit one where there's no time stone.
So then here's my question. When Cap goes back and lives his life with Peggy, shouldn't he be in the alternate one?
timeline, yeah.
So then does he like live his life with her, she dies, and then he snaps back so he can sit on the bench and then tell them all about how great his life
Possibly.
is?
That's one possibility. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I read a theory that said the way that it could work, and I think I'm remembering this right, there's no basis behind this besides it could work, is that when Tony Stark snaps everyone out of existence in the end,
The baddies.
the bat,
baddies,
yeah.
he doesn't snap them out of existence. He snaps them back to their 2014 bodies so that it closes that loop. So they're not here, and then they just keep.
It's funny how the movie didn't say that at all.
No,
And also, like thematically, did not imply that.
Yeah.
It implied that they fucking bit the dust.
They got
like,
disintegrated.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I tried to think about it,
but don't.
But don't try.
and then I
This
died.
shouldn't we approach the Looper method of explaining time travel, which is don't?
Yeah.
Absolutely don't, and get furious at people who try to.
Yeah, I mean, the Cap ending kind of spoils it a little bit in terms of the time travel. That's the one that puts the biggest thorn in it, right?
Sure.
Because there has to then be one timeline, which
Yeah.
then raises
Where-
a lot of
Where
questions.
he
Whereas-
was like, he always went back.
Yeah,
But that changes all the events of Agent Carter.
also is Sharon
Where he
Carter
doesn't
then
exist.
is Sharon Carter then his daughter? In which case, did he make out with his daughter in Civil
God,
War?
I hated the whole
Oh,
Sharon Carter
accidental
thing.
incest.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I hated that so much. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but it's like
I don't know
that
about it. Really.
idea of having like a character who's time traveled, well, not time traveled, but like, you know, essentially is now looking at the descendants of their former flame.
and go,
And it's like, but also
Ooh,
like,
hey.
there's nothing about Sharon Carter that really like, they don't get to know each other at
Mm.
all. There's no chemistry there. It's just purely like them
he was
going.
he was his
"Oh,
next
well,
door neighbor
he
for
loved-
a while,
I
and
was
then
like,
that's it.
Yeah, like, oh, he loved Peggy Carter, and so now we've got a young, hot version of her. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Like,
right?
do you know? It's a terrible.
Mm.
It's just terrible. Like, oh my god, the fucking. I think it's one of the two like romance things that really fucking infuriates me in the whole Avengers.
Is your other
universe.
one Hulk and Black
Yeah,
Widow?
they have no chemistry whatsoever in a series that means that you have everything set up in another movie. That then we come to Age of Ultron and suddenly they're dating, and we have not seen any hint.
Are they dating?
They're
I thought
not
they just have a
dating.
bond.
They're
No,
just-
they are dating. Yeah, because they're at the bar and someone's like, yeah, so you and Bruce, huh? And it's like implied that they are a thing.
Might just be external.
No,
I never read it
I
as
think
they
it was
were
just.
explicitly
I
dating.
didn't.
They had
I
a
think they're
bond.
just flirting.
Really?
Yeah.
I just read it as they had a bond and other people interpret it.
Yeah.
But we don't even see that. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you because they kind of drop it in the later
Well,
iterations.
They clearly
so
did that because everyone's like, I don't
This doesn't make
buy
that
it.
sense. Yeah,
They
it's
don't
not that valuable to the franchise.
She died.
really.
Yeah, she died.
Someone died for that joke. I think that was it. I was
pretty
talking
effective.
about that with someone because they were like, they said for them it veered into a bit of like trying to fridge Natasha, but she's not a romantic interest for anyone.
Hawkeye or
And also
anyone.
like for me, up
If
until
fridges are a little bit for Hawkeye, but not that badly.
but they're not. It doesn't really advance his plot anyway because it had to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
one
not-
of them had to.
It's not
Yeah.
like she dies and suddenly Hawkeye goes, "I'll get you for this."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not for me the traditional sense of a fridge, which is
Yeah.
to advance the plot solely for a male character.
Yeah.
It's-
Sacrifice a female character for a male
yeah,
character's
and
arc.
and
yeah.
also that fight was pretty like emotional, like and
Yeah, it's pretty cool that they fight to try and kill themselves.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, yeah. It's a nice inversion.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it reminds me of that tweet where someone's like, you know, the clone situation of like, no, shoot him. He's the real Alex. And it's like, the real Alex would never pass up an opportunity to die.
I do love that Jeremy Renner gets a lot to do in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a great time in the MCU so
Just to
far.
run
Let me
around
tell
with
you
the
what,
gauntlet
though.
in a sewer.
He has got a great butt.
He's got a great butt.
terrible haircut though.
Ooh, do we want to say that?
I don't think the Ronin haircut's not. I don't like
Oh,
it.
okay. I was digging it.
I
Nah.
like the Ronin haircut.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! See what happens when you bag Hawkeye's.
The poster has
Our-
rebuked me.
Our off-brand Futurama poster fell down to the ground. It was held up by Blue Tack and Dreams.
And yeah. And the love of Jeremy Renner's fucking...
Overall,
Hair.
by the way, I fucking loved this.
I had,
film.
it was great.
I had
It was really
such
enjoyable.
a great
Like,
time.
How the
Yeah.
hell do you, over 11 years, do 22 films?
And only have one with a female lead? Yeah, I know.
That's pretty bad, huh?
Or only one with a lead person of color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoops.
Yeah.
How do you do
But
that?
yeah, no.
Sorry,
are right.
yeah, sorry
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
a pain in the ass, but it's
Do 22 films and pull it off that effectively.
Yeah,
Like,
and round it out so well as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be very easy to fall at the final hurdle,
it
right?
was a very like the emotion was packed like to the gills, and
Yeah.
like it felt so satisfying, and it was a brilliant send off for Tony and Cap, and you know.
I'm not so jazzed about Cap's finale for reasons stated above.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it fucks with the timeline. But
Yeah.
thematically, I loved what it was.
It's nice to get his happy ending as
Yeah,
well.
sure,
like just,
for sure.
And it's kind of like Cap is. I've said this to people a lot. Cap is my favorite MCU character
Oh
of all
yeah,
time. Like,
totally.
I was always Team Cap. Always Team Cap.
The face of Chris Evans and the ass of
I-
Chris Evans.
I just like the MCU Spider-Man. It's a great version of Spider-Man. He's so
Right?
good, and he's so endearing.
Tom Holland is just
Yeah.
a little baby, and I want to cuddle him up and protect him from all evils.
It's kind of different. It's kind of a slightly different take on Spider-Man. Spider-Man, in other instances, is a bit more sarky, and he's a bit more
Yeah.
cheeky.
And he's
got a
high-
little bit
he's-
of that, but
he's legitimately high school Peter
Yeah,
Parker
Yeah.
this time as
yeah.
well.
Which we've never had. We've only had like 30-year-old men
Yeah,
play
that's
Peter
right, yeah.
Parker.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
It's like 30-year-old guys can go to uni. Of course they can. But Tobey Maguire, you are trying to act younger than you actually are. Did you guys figure out who that random kid was?
I looked it up.
So did I.
I didn't.
You know the random kid at the funeral that we're just standing
Is
at the
it
back?
Tom Holland, but he looks different?
No. Do you remember random demographic kid from Iron Man 3, the little kid that Tony Stark hangs out with?
Yeah.
That's him.
That's Harley. Was it so?
That's so fucking random.
But like the
What?
It's
why?
6 years removed.
Yeah. How am I supposed to know that?
But also,
Google.
is that the same actor? Or?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, it's because that would be like the only. Like, how would we know? Like, he looks so different.
No,
he
it's
looks so
100%,
different.
It's 100% just like a little Easter egg thing. 'Cause
Right.
Yeah.
You look it up, he's like, oh, fucking yeah.
Okay.
Especially when you saw like in the funeral, you see everyone that we know, like literally
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
and then there's just this one fucking guy, and you're like,
By himself.
To be fair, I felt that way about Gwyneth Paltrow, and I recognize her. I just like she comes through in her blue suit, and I'm just like, who is that?
oh,
Yeah.
She
Yes.
just appears, and I'm like, who?
I was
wait,
like,
who's
blue
that
suit
chick?
at a
Who's-
funeral. What a faux
Who's
pas.
that chick? And then like 2 minutes later, I was like, oh,
Right, yeah.
And somehow she's like instantly amazing. On Gamora, then theory crafting time. What does alternate Gamora, who ends up in current
Space.
timeline,
Yeah.
what does she go and do now?
I'll do you one better. Why is fuck?
Does she just go and... I mean,
Does she go and do some space stuff? Like,
Space.
what does she do?
I'm assuming
Because she
at this
doesn't end up
point-
with the Guardians.
No, like does Guardians 3 become like, search for
The
Gamora?
search for Gamora.
Because that's what that, Pratt was like trying to search for her on the
Yeah.
end of
Yeah,
the
that's
computer.
It's
true.
weird
Yeah,
that she
yeah.
didn't. Weird that she didn't stay with Nebula. That I find more weird than any. Actually, there are
Nebula stays with the Guardians.
yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few things I find weird. Mainly because I loved the interplay with Thor and Frigga.
Yeah, and there's a
But
lot of
I-
nice things like that in the
Oh,
whole
totally.
movie, right?
But I found it so weird that like Loki was right there. For me, I believe that Thor would want to see his brother, who he loves very much. Loves him so much that like after the Avengers and all the shit that Loki's pulled, he's still like, this is my brother.
Yeah.
And like the heart wrenching
But you don't get the scene of
Infinity
them
War.
sneaking by because that was hilarious.
That was hilarious,
Yeah.
but it was just beset by the fact that I'm like, Thor loves his brother. He loves his brother,
Thor
and like,
did her crying.
Yeah, but he also loves his mother,
Yeah.
and he also is going through
that's
some shit.
That's true, but
And
like,
that is the best. Like, I love that the whole trilogy of Thor films has always been about the relationship between, like, they explore Thor and his dad, Thor and Odin. And
Odin's a dick.
we've had no idea about the characterization of his mother, besides a few little things before she dies in the second film. This is the best they've ever handled her. And it was a really touching scene that just gave a bit of an insight into the relationship between Thor and his mother. And also, she's a pretty powerful badass as well.
Oh, yeah. But
I
we-
think that's that whole thing, and that's those scenes there are like really emblematic of the like achievement of the combination of the writing and the acting from Hemsworth, where it's fucking touching as all shit. But he's also says amazingly funny things like,
Yeah.
I am totally from the future.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like,
He's
it's at the
great.
same time as it's pulling your heartstrings, it's making you laugh,
Yeah,
which is
and
the
even-
tightrope that,
even when he's
that
like-
he does the best in
Yes.
this movie. He does it better than anyone.
Oh my god! Can I just say, fucking,
Better than
when he comes,
Rudd, even.
when he comes out with the braided beard,
Mm.
and like, I'm kind of annoyed how like this movie treats Fat Thor as a joke. Like, it's a little bit of a joke, mainly because we've had the sexualization constantly of Chris Hemsworth,
Yeah.
both in the Marvel films and also just in general. He's a piece of meat. He's going through a lot. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
going
yeah.
through a lot. Like,
is-
the rest
it
of
is pretty
the rest of
funny.
the characters are like pretty embarrassed by him. Like when
Yeah.
he gives that speech about the reality stone, everyone's like,
used to date her.
yeah, okay, that is pretty embarrassing. But it's just like, also Thor's still jacked. Like, what the fuck, you guys?
well, yeah. I mean, he's still a
He
god,
did,
right?
he did push up still, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, push up then beer.
Well, yeah.
Also, a great way to like kind of slightly depower Thor as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
great, which is like,
give him
oh.
emotional problems, essentially. That's what That's what depowers me, I have to say, actually.
I'm a
Quite regularly.
superhero. I'm a superhero otherwise. I'm just
no,
going
actually,
through.
I'm not a superhero,
Oh.
and I'm getting depowered, so it's pretty shit.
No, you are a
dang.
superhero.
Oh, great, thanks.
You're a superhero to me.
Actually,
Yeah, and
maybe
maybe
this,
my son.
maybe this is your origin story.
After this podcast.
Getting the hammer. Let's talk about that.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm just leading
brilliant.
the discussion
No,
here.
that's
I
fucking
literally
hell.
lifted out of my seat.
It's good shit, isn't it?
I think I squealed. I was just
Yeah.
like, yes, like,
And also,
Oh.
I like that hammer. If we're talking about wait, because you're saying the timelines exist now. Let's say both those timelines exist. At some point, the Thor in that timeline goes hammer.
Oh.
oh, and then he thinks that was
Hopefully, he brings it back to the moment that he took it away. So it should.
sorry
and that
about
was
that.
like, but that was like yet another fucking emotion-packed moment when he goes for Mjolnir. He's like,
like, yes.
I'm still worthy.
Yeah.
After all that, of course you're still worthy, Thor.
He got a nice of it.
it'll-
If it sort of hovered near his hand, he's like, oh.
Oh,
go on. Yeah, of course you're worthy.
This is also the most I have liked Paul Rudd in a
Yeah.
Marvel film. I thought he was great. Amazing. Like that, the moment when he meets his daughter is the best bit of acting that Paul
that's
Rudd
really
has done.
good. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was-
searching her face and just taking that moment in. Is,
Well, the
oh.
whole like him. This movie had a great sense of let's actually catch up to where these characters are and like where they ended up 5 years up post snap and all that made total sense. Personally,
He kind of gets the Hawkeye role in this, where everyone's like,
The family
"Hey,
man.
little man,
Oh.
hey, buddy." Everyone talks down to him, like
Yeah.
literally everybody.
it is because he's a big dum dum head.
Yeah,
and then also
and his powers are kind of ridiculous compared to some of everyone
Get
else's.
real big
Yeah,
and real small.
and real small. That's
But
pretty
also,
good.
also War Machine has one of my favorite lines, which is like talking about Chris Pratt, just going, so he's an idiot.
yeah,
Yeah, he's an idiot.
And James Gunn in the background is just like puts a thumb up. You
So
got
while
it.
we're on Paul Rudd, though,
Yes.
Yeah. I'd
This
like
is
to be
my
on
thing.
Paul Rudd. Right?
wait,
Yes, sir.
a rat
Yes.
saves the universe.
How did it activate? Is it?
How does it activate the time tunnel,
but
quantum
also-
tunnel thing?
And if
Also,
it
it
does
looks-
it that simply, why, when they got the van off the roof, mind you, they
no
found it
one
on
touched
a roof, and then they put it in storage, and they know it belongs to Scott
And
Lang.
no one like curiously pressed a few
No one's like-
buttons, or
and it would have still
didn't
been
get-
on.
It didn't get like rocked.
Wait, do
and-
people know that Scott Lang's Ant-Man?
No, but they know, like, it's like Pym particles, and like it's Hank Pym technology. But like the fact that you see a machine in there that is turned on, which means they had to have turned
Maybe
it
they were
off.
scared of it, right? They were just like,
Well,
okay,
maybe-
they did have to turn
They
it
had
off.
to have
yeah.
turned it
Maybe
off.
maybe just like went on standby. And then the rat like and
Low
then the
power
rat
mode. It's
and
low
then
power
the
mode.
rat touched it.
It
which-
just-
Yeah, it just wakes up,
Yay.
yeah.
It is
Yeah.
crazy that no one decided to be like, let's mess with this. This looks really expensive. Put it in storage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's
Yeah.
just there's a lot of
Yeah.
respectful people in the actually
That's
no,
right.
you know what? It's probably because the MCU it's like people are used to alien tech fucking up their life.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, is this strange glowy thing? I'm not gonna fucking touch
No,
this.
it's just Ken Jeong's just a really good security guard. He's
I
just
also think there are
terrifying.
just as many people that are like, alien tech?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So
use
bas-
all of that.
Yeah. Well,
So,
the
but
plot of-
without that rat, Ant-Man doesn't come back. He doesn't suggest time travel, which Tony just solves in a scene, which was a bit lame, but fine. We need to get
Yeah.
on. There's 3 hours. We need to get on with it.
So
I mean-
the rat is the hero
The rat
of
is
the
the
MCU.
real hero of
Can
the
I-
MCU.
Who is this rat?
Next standalone film,
Rat Boy.
Rat Boy.
Can I also say
Called it. You heard it here first.
well, we can't have a rat boy because there is another character called Chipmunk Hunk who is also in the Squirrel Girl.
We can still have a rat boy.
Those two things are distinct.
Yes, but there is
Legally distinct.
they are
Yeah.
both rodents.
Yeah.
They're all rodents.
Yeah, we can have Chinchilla
There's,
Girl.
there's both a spider and an Ant-Man.
And we should, and rightfully should.
Insta kill mode.
Oh, yes!
That was
Yes!
fucking badass.
Now that's
man.
a good payoff.
That was awesome.
that is also
Because we did see it in Homecoming, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we saw
Yeah.
you see the
Iron Spider.
yeah.
the Iron
Pew, pew,
Spider
pew, pew.
arms. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
the most satisfying, over-the-top CGI end battle I've ever experienced.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a bit fan servicey, but not too bad. not
like,
too bad.
They've earned that fan service.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I go, you can end with this.
Yeah.
I'm 100%
Yeah.
on
Also,
board.
some
I
of-
wasn't like outraged. I
Not
was
you,
just like,
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Aquaman.
Also, some of the like action sequences were really I'm mostly thinking of like as soon as Cap does have Mjolnir, like
He does some cool stuff.
the interplay between like
The
Thor,
shield and the
him and
hammer?
Thor being able to pass between them was so good. Like,
And the hammer and shield bouncing off each
Yeah.
other. Awesome.
And,
Yeah,
like,
you
so-
get the small one.
Yeah.
and to add into the fact, like, this is the Avengers properly being a team.
Yeah.
Like, because Infinity War, they were all still
They're
quite
fractured.
fragmented. Like, you know, there's a lot of people trying to be solo heroes, essentially,
Yeah.
as opposed to a team. And in this one, like, it really, the action tells a story in that so many of the action, it's like, someone comes in, come out, someone else comes in for the next punch. Someone, like, it's very like pow, pow, pow combo.
And that thing with
moves.
Spider-Man where like he's trying to get the gauntlet to the time machine.
With
Yes, and
Valkyrie,
everyone's
And
passing him
everybody,
around.
like helps him out a little bit
Yeah.
more, that was really cool.
Especially
because
because he's a little, he's
Hi,
just a kid.
I'm Peter
oh my
Parker.
god, and Captain, and like I fucking love Captain Marvel so much. I would die for Brie Larson. Let it here be known. But like her little smile when he's just like, hi. I'm Peter Parker. It's just like, hey, Peter Parker. It's so
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
Also,
It's-
how weird would that be for Brie, where it's like she shot those scenes first before she did Captain Marvel?
Oh,
so,
right,
So they
yeah.
had to have the directors on set to be like, "Yes, you're doing well.
Yeah.
We're okay with what you're doing here."
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's
because they shot
crazy.
Infinity War and Endgame back to back.
yes.
Yeah.
So they had to have the directors on set, like basically with her being like and
Yeah.
going, "Yes, what you're doing here is
is
She's
consistent with what
great.
we're gonna do.
Yes.
I love Brie Larson. I think she knocks it out of the fucking park. I also am like, obviously, I love Captain Marvel so much. It's got like
I do like that they kept her out of it. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
she's just too strong. Like,
she
And
is
it is good that they had the moment where she can get hurt. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
she gets
where
socked
in a
with
very
the Power
smart
Stone.
way, it
Yeah.
would just take one stone away, and the look on her
Yeah.
face, she's like,
Ow.
"Oh shit!"
Fuck, yeah. But also, oh god, it was so satisfying. Like when he went to headbutt her, it was just like,
clang.
try again, bud. Like,
Yeah.
oh god, yeah. No,
I did like Scarlet Witch versus Thanos as well.
Oh.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's another character that's just
Also-
been fucked over
well,
this MCU.
Yeah.
Can I
She's lost
say-
everything.
Can I say though,
It's really dark.
yeah.
as much as I did love that battle, what the fuck, Elizabeth Olsen? What's your accent? Can we just pick one? Like, you go from real bad Russian from Age of Ultron
Yeah.
to then just American to then whatever the fuck it was in this movie.
Mildly British?
It was strange.
Well, when
It
you
was
come back
just
from the snap,
strange.
when
Yeah.
you come back from the snap,
You
you
get
have
a
several
new
accents.
accent.
Well, why isn't Tom Holland speaking like this?
He
eh?
did, didn't you hear him? Yeah.
That's only in an
He's like,
interview.
It's gone Cockney.
Auto kill mode activate, yeah?
Oh, miss.
This
oh,
suit's ridiculously intuitive.
I'm
I'm
Peter Parker. Hi, miss. It's nice to meet you, isn't it?
So,
Okay, no, I have another nitpick.
go for it.
Sure, I'm in charge of this podcast.
You're
now.
not.
Okay, fair enough.
Wow. Everyone wants to see the drama behind that.
A giant barrage of missiles hit Avengers HQ. Everyone is mildly inconvenienced.
Everyone's-
At the very
Survives.
least, Hawkeye is in 20 pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but he had a small shield in
Yes.
front of him.
Oh, sorry, 10 pieces.
Wait,
Yes.
who? Iron Man was shielding him, right?
Yes, he
yeah,
put a
yeah.
small
I mean, from
energy
one
shield in front of
direction and probably not the right. Like, he wasn't doing it from above.
No, just rubble everywhere.
Yeah.
That kind of annoyed me. That is like, well, they're all invincible. What's the fucking point?
Most of
Yeah.
you should be dead, if not hurt.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, just don't do that gigantic explosion. I mean, I guess they go, oh, it's the barn door protocol. But if that's the case, show that room like
Slightly
weathering,
better off.
like
Yeah.
weathering the blast
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. It
Also,
needs to be
Ant-Man's
like-
van survives that. Okay, sure.
Oh, yeah.
They made him to last back
yeah,
then.
that's right. Yeah,
He
there's
are-
a few things in there that I nitpick a little bit.
Sure,
right,
yeah.
right before the explosion happened, he shrunk the van so
Oh,
it became
right,
really
clever.
small so it can withstand
Oh, he's
so
good
much.
like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will say though, as much as I am in agreement that like, oh, that's just because as soon as like that missile pretty much hits Ant-Man, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like because you could go, oh, he just like
When
his
it went
visor's
small.
off,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
um,
Just Paul Rudd's face.
and just like I was like, holy fuck, he's just been obliterated.
I assumed he was dead.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
well, he, like the force.
Yeah.
You saw how close it was. It was
Yeah.
right outside, then he just got flying. Yeah, you're dead.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, like I'm still glad. Like it was still satisfying. And then we got that cool like Hawkeye running from the Chitauri. That was like, and it was so cramped and like I thought that was a really cool just little action scene there
Yeah.
that I'm like, okay, that was very silly what you did there, but this is paying off for me. Also, I just don't want to cry anymore.
I thought they were going to do a thing right earlier on when the two nebulas are linked, and he can see nebula's thoughts. I thought they were going to do a thing where the only reason he found all the Infinity Stones
was because of like that's what happened.
was what originally
Yeah.
Well, because what happened originally
that
is
doesn't
that
work 'cause,
Gamora hid the Soul Stone location. Like they had a
Yes.
map to it, and then she
Yeah.
burnt it up.
yes,
And so
Yeah.
then it that was all for naught because he found it anyway because of Nebula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
that's
was
not
gonna.
what
Well, he
happens.
was gonna kill.
It did in
It's-
Baby Beard's MCU.
I'm
Yes.
so happy for Nebula. She's one of my favorite characters in the MCU.
the one thing Faith said during not the one thing, but one thing that she
The
did
one
say,
the
good
one
thing.
good thing.
one good thing she said during Infinity War was, "I like her."
She's amazing.
I like her.
And I think one of my favorite things about the Guardians movies is all about how it explores abuse and abusing. Like, it's all about people who've been fucked over and people who have been hurt who are then also hurting other people, and that they need to like learn and grow from that. And like watching Nebula grow over these films has been just wonderful. And then to see her like at the hands of
Kill herself.
Yes.
yeah, like it's a real big
Yeah.
statement, isn't
Yeah.
it, going forward?
I wish
Like,
she'd said a quip like, "Oh, I've always hated her,"
Yeah.
something like that.
Nothing but Nebula.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as like jokes aside, like she does kind of have that because
Yeah.
it's the new Nebula. Fuck. Past Nebula is talking to our Nebula, and she goes,
He won't let me
"You're
change."
weak" or something,
Yeah.
and she goes, "I'm you." And
Yeah,
like she,
yeah.
but also she knows that's the worst thing that she could say to herself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Because she kind of hates us. Like
yeah,
hates herself.
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
All right. Well, bringing the jokes back because you put them aside and now we're putting them back squarely on the table.
Oh yeah.
We need
Okay.
to bring this back to a vote. So Futurama's Law and Order versus Avengers Endgame. I'm voting for Endgame.
So how funny would it be if we get to the end of the series?
And Endgame is the best
Endgame is
Futurama
the best
episode
Futurama episode ever.
of all
We
time.
can't
Okay,
do this to
so-
ourselves.
So Fry is like Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Bender
Oh, yeah.
He's got the red
is-
jacket.
Yeah, Bender is
Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah, sure. Because he's 30%
He's 30% iron.
Zoidberg.
Is the Chitauri. Thanos.
No, Zoidberg's
He's got
like
the-
Yeah, he's
chin
got
for
got
it.
the chin for it.
Yeah.
And the bald head.
he's
Yeah.
got a. I kind of want to say he's like Yondu or something, but he's not in
Yondu's
Endgame.
dead.
I know.
Thanos it is. Thanberg. Zoidos.
Yeah.
He's Ant-Man because everyone dumps on him.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Farnsworth is Nick Fury.
I was gonna say Bruce Banner. He's the science
Hermes.
Scarlet Witch.
one. I was gonna say Black Widow. Wow, dang.
That's Amy, right?
Amy, who's clumsy but like kind of still capable.
It's almost as if you can't convert
No.
Avengers characters
By the
into
way,
Futurama.
now that you
I'm
mentioned
sorry
Amy
that I
Wong,
started.
the next film besides Spider-Man that they've officially greenlit and is going to production, you'll know the name of it because you know the comics better than I do, but it's
Yeah.
going to be the first Asian American lead, and they're getting an Asian American director and writer. Starts with SH. I don't.
Okay, I'm not that great on Spider-Man comics because I read when Spider-Man pops into
not
comics that
Spider-Man
I
related.
read.
No,
might
no,
not be
other
Spider-Man
than
related.
Spider-Man.
Other than Spider-Man.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Whatever it is, they're.
I really hope they
Yeah.
bring back the Iron Man thing with the chick. The young
Ironheart?
chick. Ironheart, yeah. That would be
she's-
rad.
What was her
that would
name?
be rad.
Isn't her name Riri? She's cute. I fucking love.
Yeah, re something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said now is a great time to put in the young Avengers kind of arc because that's like all legacy characters and like a bunch of young now superhero teens who are like, well, fuck, if the Avengers aren't, we're going to be our own Avengers
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And it's also rife with there's a lot of queer characters in it. We have Hulkling, who's a Skrull prince, and Wiccan, who is the son of Scarlet Witch, and they are a couple. They're adorable. We also have Kid Loki in Young Avengers.
Kid Loki. How does
Yeah,
that work?
look, okay,
Loki.
you gotta read it.
Okay, I'm not going to,
Whenever I
but
speak
yeah.
about comics, I sound like a fucking lunatic, and I'm tired
I mean, you sound
of
like
it.
a nerd.
And also, we have America Chavez, whose power is she can punch through dimensions.
Wow.
She's
Okay,
amazing.
So we're going to go on to a voice,
Okay, sure.
Oh.
which can be any quote from the movie you like.
You wanted more? I don't know.
I've got...
What's that guy's name?
I've got... is it Wong?
Wong, yeah.
Yeah. I've got... I could do this all day. I know.
That is America's ass.
Have a seat. Plug into the Wi-Fi.
Thanks,
What
Thor.
does he say about the
Words
password?
that
The
I can't
theater
remember.
was laughing, so I couldn't hear it.
I just remember that there's that kid.
The
from-
weird
I
squid
can't remember.
thing.
Can't remember who the
other
player
roommate is
name.
very
and Thor's
weird.
like, Meek.
Meek, yeah.
That's right. Meek's still alive. Thank God. I know we were all worried.
I saw people online complaining that they were playing Fortnite. It's like, come on,
Why?
guys, who gives a shit?
Come
It's
on.
just a popular
Imagine.
game.
You know what the game is.
Yeah.
We know what the
Like,
game
it's
is.
the most-
What wouldn't they be playing?
Yeah.
It's like the most recognizable game, so of course they're going to
Of
put it in. Like,
course.
and it's not even. They're like, "Why is Thor playing it?" It's like he's not.
Why-
He genuinely isn't playing it.
Yeah.
Why aren't they playing Gallagher? Because that's what one of the guys was playing in the helicarrier in the first, yeah.
Now you listen here, you punter.
Oh my God! Can
I'm
I?
coming. If you
I am the god of thunder. Remember Thanos? I killed it. Yeah, that's great.
Thanks, Thor.
Thanks, Thor. Yeah, so cute.
Also, now that we've come to the end of the episode,
What?
I can give everyone an announcement, which is in about 3 episodes' time, we're tackling All the President's Heads, which is directed by Steven Sandoval and written by Josh Weinstein. And both of
No
them will
relation.
be coming on the episode with us.
Oh my! What? In our show?
Yes, on our show.
Are they
You mean
sure?
their voices on our podcast?
Their voices and their beings will be here with us through Skype.
They're coming to Australia?
We're paying for their tickets and their
making them
accommodation.
dinner.
Oh no.
You're making them dinner.
Yeah.
Why?
So they're going to be sleeping in your room and you get the couch, Ellen.
That's no.
Fine.
And for any of you Aussies out
That is
there,
exciting.
Josh Weinstein, among other things, wrote the Bart versus Australia episode of The
Oh
Simpsons.
my God.
So-
this is royalty. Animation royalty.
We will bring in Chaz Wozler for him.
Brilliant. Can't
We'll
wait.
play Knife Your Spoonie.
Yes.
Yep.
And we will win.
Yeah. Let me finish giving the boot to someone.
So, guys, first of all, if you do like what we do here on this episode,
Yeah.
get in
If you
bef-
liked our rambling, meandering discussion of a recent movie.
if you want us to do more of this, please actually tell us, because
Maybe we'll start a new series. I don't know.
maybe. Like, I have no idea if this will get views or if everyone will go, it's not Futurama.
Just
And
skip
also doesn't have a point.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know,
Yeah.
if you like what we do, tell
This-
us from you.
What he said. Also, find us on Facebook or email us at babybeardmedia@gmail.com.
We also have an Instagram. You can see a time lapse of this very recording.
Oh,
wave,
shit.
wave, people. Wave.
Gauntlet.
Wait, ah!
Yeah, wrong hand.
Why you
Ba, ba, ba,
little?
ba.
And you can interact with us on there because quite frequently there are polls. You might see things that we're not going to post ordinarily in our stories, and it's a way for you to have a kind of like one-on-one interaction with us.
There are no Endgame spoilers there.
There's no
None.
Endgame
if you
spoilers.
which just doesn't. If you just listen to this whole thing,
If you
anyway,
if you have no intention of seeing Endgame, then that's fine.
it's fine.
But what's wrong with you? They're going to make $1 billion to spite you, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will be back next week to talk Futurama.
Oh, okay.
What?
Most likely,
Probably.
Maybe.
unless something else comes out.
Another
This
giant.
is, we get a
nerd.
million emails saying, "Yeah, we want you to review all the all the Marvel movies." Now.
Yes.
Actually, I would like to discuss Hellboy, which I watched last night. It wasn't good.
Yeah, I heard it was a big oof.
I'll discuss
Yeah.
the first Hellboy, the original
Oh,
one.
Yeah,
that's
for sure,
those,
yeah.
The Guillermo del Toro films are brilliant.
That's why I'm happy to discuss
Yes.
them.
Oh, okay.
And
There's no fun in that.
until we discuss Hellboy, I have been Sean.
I've been Phil.
I've been Ellen.
Oh,
Oh,
and-
wait, Sean, did
yeah.
you die in Infinity War?
No, I was spared.
Are you kidding me?
I was spared.
Spared as well.
That's sexist.
So, Sexy Chris, you're most likely dead, but let us know.
It's not how probability works.
It is. Every podcast is 50-50.
Right, I see.
He made that explicitly clear.
What? No,
In-
it's every person, not every podcast.
It's every small group of people is
Yeah.
exactly divided in half.
Yeah.
So it looks like me and Chris went. Sorry, guys.
And so I don't know, in One Good Thing, whether it was Paul Goodman or Paul
Oh,
Sol.
we should ask.
Yeah.
What
we'll
if, they
find
could
out.
have been both.
Could have been both.
Yeah.
No more good
Could have
things.
been. We could have had.
No good thing.
No,
good
but
things.
both of them could have survived as well.
Nah. Bye, guys.
You can't have one without the other. You'll get lonely.
Can't have one without the
Yeah.
other. Bye.
was
I
hoping
put
it's-
Fanta in it.
I was hoping I'd
you
still smell whatever
sicko.
drink was there.
Can you?
No.
No, because
And the Fanta is under which stone? The time stone.
Time stone.
Oh
So you can
shit!
just keep-
Unlimited Fanta.
Yeah, you just keep resetting the Fanta. But do you if you reset the Fanta, are you unquenched?
Oh, does,
Because you've
does it go
undone
out of
it.
your stomach?
Yeah, you've undone the
Oh.
Fanta. You're like, that was nice. You're like, oh, it wasn't.
So that actually be
Yes,
the
it is
worst.
good.
I think that's right.
Because when he does the apple, it's that one apple that just keeps getting reconstituted and taken away. So just Fanta would go back into the cup.
From you, and then you'd no longer be satisfied.
It would be forced out of your mouth.
Yeah. You're talking about Fanta coming out of your nostrils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you use the Mind Stone on Fanta?
Time stone.
Right. I thought you said Mind
The
Stone.
real question is why you drank the
Why
Fanta
you-
through your
Fanta.
nose.
I didn't.
You did, because the time stone showed it coming back out of your nose.
Which means it had to have
Well-
gone in through your nose.
we know your secrets.
Why'd you do that? When you went purple, I think the last time.
Some of it got in the cat.
Yeah, it was great. That Misha was walking around, just had purple. I was like,
But I
why is there purple?
I asked that, but apparently it wasn't me. Apparently that's Lish. That
Costa
was
just painted Misha.
yeah. Yeah, we got to stop him doing it at some point. No, apparently that was Ash's lipstick.
Oh.
Yeah, because I told her, I was like, sorry, I might have accidentally dyed your cat. And she said, no, because that's my lipstick. I did that.
I was painting the cat with my
I
lipstick.
did it.
What? Don't get heated and bash the table, because it will probably remove
Kill
it from
half.
existence. Yeah.
I was going to say just wipe out half the world.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wipe out half a baby beard. Which two will go?
Well, we already know I got snapped, Phil didn't.
Did Thanos kill .me? That's great.
There we go.
Oh, fuck. I didn't realize putting it on will tell me straight away. I thought I'd have to press the thing. Well, I know now.
Well, can't you just act?
Oh. That was
Sorry.
an unexpected result.
Sorry, can't
Baby
you?
bit, I don't feel so good. I lost the kid.
Scruffy got snapped.
Scruffy as Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's right.
Who in Futurama gets snapped?
It would have to be
Everyone.
like.
Everyone except Zoidberg.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, dang. And then Zoidberg wins.
Now,
the Infinity
Zoidberg
War.
is the
Yeah.
most popular one.
Oh, what if he just.
Thanos hanging out?
What if he just didn't try and reverse the snap?
What if Thanos snapped himself?
That would be hilarious, right?
Yeah.
If
What
he's
if he
like,
was
when you
part of-
snap and he's like, haha.
Because
Oh,
was he
no.
actually
Oh, shit.
like in his head? Was he like half of the universe except for me?
Is a preference to who gets snapped and who didn't, because as we notice, like pretty much all of the Guardians are gone.
Yes.
Like, I don't think that's just pure coincidence.
Yes. Oh, the
You
original.
think Thanos hates the Guardian?
Yes. He does.
This movie was lame.
No.
I only want the original 6 Avengers.
Yeah, that's
left.
right. Yeah.
Everyone else can go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because he's
Even
English.
you, who has a movie coming in a few months' time.
He's English now, apparently.
Hello.
So. Hello.
That was his first snap. I want to have a flawless British accent. I like the way they talk. I've heard you, Tom Holland.
Of all the infinite possibilities, he's like, an accent. That's the one. I'm not a big fan of Thanos.
As a person.
Yeah, he like always leaves his dishes out. No, of
Fuck.
course it's a character. Fucking hell.
An Ant-Man sized asshole. Because he'll go up his butt and expand.
Why does he just go in his tear duct? Like, why does it have to be
Nah,
up the butt?
You know
Because
why.
Ant-Man is an ass man.
You
Okay.
know. He was like, it does not flatter your butt,
Yeah.
which means he has noticed how good his butt
It's
is.
normally.
There
And
you
Cap
go.
is an ass man on account of the fact that he
He's
likes
his own
ass.
ass man.
He's his own ass man.
That is
Everyone
America's
should be their
ass.
own ass man or woman.
Why don't the two Caps make out? These are the real questions.
Save it.
Just Tony
You
Stark.
cowards. If I had the reality stone, I could just make anyone I wanted to make out.
Would you?
This is
Worse than Thanos.
This is
So
the
much worse than
This
Thanos.
is the next Avengers film.
Yeah.
I'm going to make half of you kiss.
Only
Just
the
half.
Only the cute ones.
The lick smackening.
Why
Wah-
is God?
Oh fuck.
Wah.
Wow. What if Waluigi was in this?
Do I survive? Wah.
Mm.
Mm,
Mm.
mm,
Mm.
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 Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Oh, I thought we were harmonizing.
Da, da, da,
That's
da, da,
cool.
da,
That's cool. I didn't even want to. That's fine.